this episode of The Farmer and the Foodie.
Almost every single fruit and vegetable that we eat is pollinated by a bee or another kind of pollinator.
Beekeeping is something that you never can figure it out. And you can take all the tools in your toolbox, but you're going to have to apply them in a little bit different way.
I would eat this meal any time of day.
Oh yeah, and what's fun about it is it's very flexible. You can impart all sorts of different flavors here.
I'm Maggie Keith, and I'm the farmer.
And I'm Lindsay McClave, and I'm the foodie. And this is
The Farmer
and the Foodie. Today we finally get to see honeybees. I'm super excited. Ever since Maggie and I have been together, we've always had this dream of like harvesting honey, seeing honeybees, understanding how that works, and they are buzzing like crazy. I cannot wait.
The way that bees play such an important role in agriculture, but also in the kitchen, they work together as a team just like us. It makes total sense that we're gonna visit some bees.
It's gonna be sweet.
We have different hives here, and you'll notice that there's several different kinds of hives. So here in the middle, the hive that we're going to be getting into, this is a new swarm. So what we're going to be looking at in here is how well the bees are establishing. So
you have a big job as the state apiarist.
Yeah.
So tell us about that.
I cover all 120 counties in Kentucky. I work with all of our beekeepers to try to help keep Kentucky's bees healthy. As part of my job as an inspector, I work with folks that are shipping bees in and out of the state to do health certificates and make sure that the colonies are healthy before there's movement in or out of the state. And then I also do a lot of education. So I go to the different bee clubs. Kentucky has 74 different bee clubs that are located across the state. So I'm kind of everywhere all at the same time, just trying to focus on keeping our bees healthy. So I started in the entomology department as an undergrad and got a lot of exposure to how insects are really important in agriculture systems, particularly bees, and the impact that honeybees can have on our food system and how valuable they are, and how can we, keep bees healthy so that we have food to feed our families.
So what kind of impact do bees have on agriculture?
They have a huge impact. So almost every single fruit and vegetable that we eat is pollinated by a bee or another kind of pollinator. So honeybees are just one of many pollinators. Kentucky actually has 450 species of native bees.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and they're really important to us because they live in environments like the one that's around us right now. They'll live in kind of those forested areas, eat pollen and nectar from those spaces, but also come into the fields and help pollinate. And most of those bees are solitary bees, so they live on their own. Honeybees are different because they have a queen, and that queen will lay eggs, and she can decide if she's going to lay male eggs or female eggs. Whoa, wow. Male eggs turn into drones. Those will be used for mating with other queens from other colonies. And then the females are the worker bees, and they have different roles throughout their lifetime, but they help to raise the brood, gather food and pollen and nectar, build the honeycomb, help build the hive.
What are you looking for right now? I mean, you mentioned you don't want to, they know what to do, like, which is what's the most amazing thing to me, but what are you?
So when I'm checking on a swarm like this, or a newly established swarm, I'm looking to see if the queen is laying eggs, and I'm looking to see if she's got established brood. So are those larvae growing and developing? And then how are they doing on food resources? So this is a food resource frame for the most part. There's some brood down here in this corner, but there's a lot of pollen that is packed in here and some honey on this outer edge. So this tells me the queen was here, but she was here a little while ago. So we're going to keep looking through this box and see what we can find. Bees are one of the only animals that we can actually translate their language into something we can understand as humans. So they will come back to the hive, they will do a dance that reflects the distance and the direction of that floral resource. They'll share samples, right? They'll take some of that nectar or that pollen that they think is really good. And then they will get their sisters to go with them to kind of utilize that resource and bring it back to the colony. So that's why they're really effective in things like almonds or apple orchards, because once they find that food resource, everyone from the colonies headed that way.
Wow. What are the struggles of beekeepers here?
One of the things that we really try to monitor and try to help beekeepers with is keeping their varroa mites under control. It's an ectoparasite. Each one of those varroa mites can cause damage not only by feeding but also spreading viruses to the bees. Second to that is going to be our pollinator habitat. So as more and more people turn to making their lawns all grass, we lose a lot of the resources that bees need. So the more folks that can plant native flowers, have perennial gardens, resources for bees, even in like really urban areas, those become like little islands that the bees can kind of hop to find those resources.
Well, we can get on board with that.
Yeah.
That's something us as consumers can support.